it was you mentioned the ball pressure. Panayotis Kalaitzakis, when he entered the court, he was put on Lorenzo Brown, and one guy has played most of the minutes, 90% of the minutes in the series, and the other guy has been playing like 5 minutes per game. And his energy was something, the top of the top of the top level of energy you could actually see. Lorenzo Brown still got 13 points in that fourth quarter, just as Kendrick Nunn did. But at the same time, he just Kalaitzakis asked so much energy from Lorenzo just to cross the half court, to try to play his game. He stole one dribble from him. And I don't know, other guys I thought took example. I know it's game 5, but just seeing Kalaitzakis with so much energy there, I think actually motivated other players to give this one final push. And when you don't have Wade Baldwin, other guys, if we take all the guys except Lorenzo Brown and Tamir Blatt, other Maccabi players were 0 and 6 in the fourth quarter from the field. Mm-hmm. Nobody else made a basket instead of Tamir Blatt made one basket, and all the other baskets were by Lorenzo Brown.
And even them, those baskets came more in the second half of that quarter. The first half of that quarter, they were stuck. And what enabled Panathinaikos to make that, to pull away? And I think what is not really talked about is on the other side of, you see Kalaitzakis having to, lock up Brown, but also that means if you're playing Tamir Blatt, because John DiBartolomeo was on 4 fouls, I believe, Tamir Blatt had to defend Nunn. And I think that was also a crucial thing that for a NBA caliber scorer like Nunn to take a shot over 178 centimeter Tamir Blatt is much easier than doing that over Lorenzo Brown. And I think there were 2 consecutive, maybe even 3-pointers by Nunn over Blatt, and then one against Nebo after a switch. But Kalaitzakis' impact was not just defending Lorenzo Brown, but the fact that then Maccabi didn't have a good defensive matchup for Kendrick Nunn. I think that's another thing.
But at the same time, those 3-pointers were on the pick and rolls. So he sees a bigger defender, Rivero there, and he basically just did what he wanted to. Really, he shot one 3-pointer from the NBA line against Rivero there. Then it was like full court pressure by Tamir Blatt. But there was a screen near to other side of the court. He just goes alone, all 28, 30 meters, and just goes around Cohen, lays it up and in over Josh Nebo, just pure individual talent. And it was the only game 5 where it wasn't actually a dogfight, and it was beautiful to see the game 5, because Monaco Fener and Barcelona Olympiacos were 2 games where you're just like, oh my God, what is this basketball I'm watching? The pressure, the physicality on defense, the intensity, the energy made it all about the hustle plays, the little mistakes in the end, maybe who is getting that offensive rebound, who can go in transition to score some easy baskets. Because in half court, it was practically impossible to score there. And you needed 5 shots to make one in that game. Like the percentages in other games, except for Pau Maccabi, were tragical. But here, I thought the talent in the end won, and I was really shocked that Maccabi really didn't do anything against Nunn. Like one pick and roll, and he can just pull up, or they switch and they don't go to double. What I saw against Mike James and how hard it was for him was not the same I saw against Kendrick Nunn.